In the car world, we typically seem to enjoy the big names. We love the Supras, the Corvettes, and the M3s, but there are so many cars out there that serve a completely different purpose from being just a race car, and they deserve the praise too. So yes, buddy, I am a huge car guy, and yes, I am making a whole video dedicated to the Honda Odyssey. Hello everybody, my name is Mark Roden, and this is the deep dive on the Honda Odyssey. So here we are, just me and you. It's 1992 in Japan. We're on our honeymoon. Look how cute we are. We're freaking drinking mimosas and playing cornhole with the other married couple that we just met. But there's a threat on the horizon about to make me sell my wonderful two-door sports car. Children. But lucky for us, Japan's economy is going pretty well after the gas crisis helped Japanese automakers get their little footsies in the door in the American market. So we could just buy some Japanese machine to get to work in back of time and not have to worry. But oh no, the kids were triplets. We can't fit 3 kids in any old Camry. What are we gonna do? Well, no need to worry, honey, because Honda has got our backs.
With 4 doors and an easy fold-away rear seat, it's not just a minivan, it's a Honda.
In 1994, Honda released to the world the first ever Honda Odyssey, which went by the chassis code RA. It was, well, a minivan. So most people with children were pretty happy, but the rest of the world was just kind of like, okay, don't really see the point there, but that didn't stop the van from being great. It was based off of the Honda Accord platform, which if you know anything about Honda, you know it's a pretty damn good platform. It had a 2.2 liter inline-4 that they called the F22 B6, which was the same engine that they put in the Accord at the time, and the damn Prelude, which if you don't know, that's a sports car, buddy. It only made a very small 150 horsepower and it went to the front wheels, but remember, this was a damn minivan, people, okay? It was not meant to be a race car. Plus, if you just escaped the psych ward and you want to make a minivan fast, well, the only one with the Honda motor in it is probably going to be your best option. But either way, it was an incredible new car with some incredible new tech on it for the 90s. It had full anti-lock disc brakes on all 4 corners. It had all wishbone suspension, some of the world's best safety ratings at the time, and most importantly, it had a 3rd row of seats, which by the way, could go down into the floor whenever you wanted to give you tons of cargo space. The freaking car could hold up to 7 people, and it was a hit in not only Japan, but the Americas too, which was promising for young Honda since they didn't think this new project would sell well at all to the Americans. It was so successful, in fact, that in just 2 short years, it became Honda's fastest selling model ever, beating both the Civic and the Accord. The car was not only successful for the average folk, but also for the business owners, since the New York Taxi and Limousine Commission, they approved the Honda Odyssey to be the first minivan added to its fleet, brother. So Honda was pleasantly surprised and went back to work on the 2nd generation. The 2nd generation Honda Odyssey was launched in 1999 and was given the chassis code RL1. This new Odyssey was given tons of new upgrades for not only the driving experience, but also the power. Yeah, buddy. It took lots of inspiration from the Chrysler minivans of the time, and one of those things would be the iconic minivan sliding doors instead of the opening doors. The EX trim even got power sliding doors, which means that you opened the handle once and it did the rest of the work. It kept the wonderful idea of 3rd row seats going down into the floor, and many other minivans had started doing that too. But most importantly, they swapped the inline-4 out for a V6, specifically the J35A1, which was a 3.5 liter V6 that managed to make 210 horsepower, but was later bumped up to 240 horsepower in 2002 for the facelift. That's a minivan, making more power than the damn Civic Si of the time. But all good things must come to an end, and sadly this generation had massive transmission issues, which obviously aren't very ideal there, Honda. What were you thinking? However, even with the transmission issues, this van still sold incredibly well, selling well over 150,000 models in 2002, 2003, and 2004. For reference, there was only 250,000 350Zs ever made in America, so a damn Honda minivan outsold my car in just 2 short years. Not very happy about that one, to be honest with you.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
The launch of the 3rd gen just kind of cemented what we already knew about the Odyssey. It was here to stay. They called it the RL3, and it was once again given some more power, up to 255. They also gave it the transmission from the Ridgeline, which helped with the transmission issues and gave it tons of new technology as well. Some of those being electronic stability control, more airbags, windows that rolled down in the back, and an iguana with every purchase. That part's not true. There's no iguana, I'm sorry. It was a massive improvement for sure, but not really anything super new. And the 4th and 5th generation Odysseys would kind of do the same thing. Don't get me wrong, the 4th and 5th generation Odysseys are both very good minivans in their own right, and they absolutely increased in terms of comfort and reliability throughout the years. The 5th gen, for example, now has a 10-speed automatic and tons of new interior upgrades like Bluetooth speakers, memory seats, more storage space, touchscreen infotainment system, and plenty more. They are great vans, and they deserve to be loved for what they are for sure. And I think if you're looking for a minivan to haul the kiddies around in, you should absolutely 100%, without a doubt in my mind, just buy a damn Nissan 350Z, because those kids need to grow some hair on their chest anyways. Throw them in the trunk, start them while they're young. But I wanted to go back really quick to the first 2 generations and talk about how much of a wacky but cool car that they are right now. You see, Japanese car brands love to make people's lives easier. It's kind of their whole selling point. They don't really care about having the nicest interior or the most insane 0 to 60 times. They just like making you happy that you don't have to worry about spending $10,000 on an oil change. And Honda over the years realized a way to make people's lives easier while also making a bunch of money is you just kind of put the same parts on different models. And when doing that, they have created tons of opportunities for engine swaps, since just about any Honda can fit just about any Honda motor without having to do tons of work to get it to fit right. And the Honda Odyssey was no different. As I said before, the 1st gen already came with a freaking Prelude motor, but there are tons of people out there who were crazy enough to swap the motors with better Honda motors like B series or K series. So even though this might sound insane to you, yes, there actually is a market out there for you to build a Honda Odyssey race car that you and the family all can love. Sure, it won't be as fast as if you were to put that same setup in something like a Civic, but at least you can bring your kids to their friend's house who drools on you all the time, and then on the way home you can smoke an 18-year-old trust fund kid in his daddy's BMW. It's truly the best of both worlds, and since car guys don't want them, and they're too old for soccer moms, the cars sit around the $1,500 to $2,000 mark, which is incredibly cheap in today's market. The aftermarket support doesn't stop there either. What, you thought people would buy a minivan and only turn it into a drag car? No man, it's 2022. Everybody likes to slam cars on the ground for some reason, and the Odyssey has gotten that treatment as well. For some reason, usually in very low income areas, but either way, they do it and it looks cool. It's not often that you see a bagged minivan with stretched BBS wheels, but when you do, it is truly something to lay your eyes on. You can't help but think about how happy that man must be. He has a vehicle that he enjoys modifying, and his girlfriend can't get mad at him because he has a car for the kids as well. It's a freaking win-win situation, and it still doesn't stop there. There are tons of incredibly weird but cool builds out there for the Honda Odyssey, like rally builds, track builds, and even drift builds. So yes, at the end of the day, the Honda Odyssey is just a minivan. And sure, it may not be the best platform to build out there. As a matter of fact, it's not even close to the best Honda to build out there. But there's something about owning a car that can do everything you need it to do, while also having a B16B hiding under the hood for any unsuspecting victims. I didn't make this video to try and get you to love the Odyssey. I don't care if you like it or not. I made this video to hopefully show the world that practicality can be cool. Just because you were given something not mainstream and popular like a 350Z or an Integra, that doesn't mean it doesn't serve a purpose, and sometimes you just have to push it a little bit harder to really see how bright it can shine. That is the end of today's deep dive on the Honda Odyssey. I think I'm going to start naming these Why I Love the Blank, because every one of these cars I fall in love with after making the videos, and so I feel like that would reach a wider audience as well. But yeah, deep dive on the Honda Odyssey. I know it's wacky, but I like them, dude. I'm not gonna buy one. Don't worry. I'm not gonna buy a Honda Odyssey, but I kind of like them. They're kind of weird. They're little wacky little things, man. Little wacky little cars. Anyway, that's the end of the video for anybody that doesn't really care about my life. For people that do care about my life, we're looking at another daily driver. I think you guys want to see the RSX, and I kind of like the RSX, so it might be an RSX. If not an RSX, maybe some Lexus IS300 or SC300. I wanted to do a Civic, but they're just not my style. I went and test drove one. I didn't see myself driving it, so RSX most likely. It's going to be a budget build though. It's also going to be my daily driver for like a year, so I'm going to build it in a year on a strict budget and daily drive it, and then flip it the next year and hopefully make profit on it that way, and I'll do my whole series on that too. So hopefully that's the plan. But once again, it could change. We've gone from, I'll spoil it all for you. I went from looking at a BMW 328xi E92 to then a 99 Civic to now it's an RSX. So it could change again. I could maybe in 2 weeks want to go buy an Audi A5. I like those cars, so who knows. But right now it's looking like an RSX. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.